Hi, yes. So my name is Zay. I'm 24 years old.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
So specifically speaking, similar to him, but in different areas, I support his immigration. At least his the way he's been acting in terms of the immigration policy, as well as the Second Amendment.
Okay. What about immigration? And I would say that he's tried to undermine our Second Amendment, so we can talk about that, I guess.
I guess we'll address that a little bit later. So immigration, right? So one of the biggest thing that the left has tried to done is has tried to argue against is regards to the Alex Preddy and the Renee Good situation.
Hmm.
Uh, as you know, and I know, the original argument was that Renee Good and Alex Preddy were simply apparently enacting their First Amendment right of recording said law enforcement, but they were both found to be obstructing and as well as committing other crimes that ended up leading to their deaths.
Oh, okay. So like in the videos that they were killed, or are you saying it in prior
Yes, in the specific
circumstances?
videos.
Okay. So
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
how is Renee Good obstructing?
So Renee Good, according to two different lawyers, specifically regarding Nate the lawyer,
So not by a
when
court process, just by lawyers.
well, the thing is that this never goes to court because I mean they were already killed, so the case was closed. You and I
Okay.
both know this, right?
Sure, but like
So,
you just said they were found of doing this. I was like, by who?
well, according to I forget the exact three-letter word agency, Homeland Security. So I mean Homeland
Oh,
Agency.
yeah, which also the leader of that, Christy Nome, said that they were domestic terrorists trying to maximize and inflict maximum harm, which was not true. All of those things were deemed to be lies, right? Like, so I just don't know if that's a legitimate good source.
Well, even if you don't want to use Homeland, right? You could look at all these other criminal defense attorneys, and and most of the time, of them, what Legal Eagle have stated that, according to the video, you could argue that Renee Good was obstructing law enforcement that day and impeding ICE operations.
Okay, so how were they obstructing?
So, according to
Actually, like
the
for example, let's start with
statement.
Alex Preddy. How was Alex Preddy obstructing?
Oh, okay, so we're moving on to Alex Preddy. Okay,
Yeah.
so in regards to Alex Preddy, according to the statement, right? Um, you can see on both video and according to the statement that he was attempting to move the detainee and attempting to come on scene in order to protest the operation that was taking place that day in regards to the detainee. Um, ICE agents attempted to remove him several times. He of course continued to come back on scene, and then you could see him in the video, which where we see during said deadly force incident, where he tries to move the detainee. So then they go. So obviously, ICE agents go to apprehend him and detain him. And as you see in the video, he seems to be passively resisting law enforcement, and then they remove the firearm off his hip, and then obviously within that like what 2 seconds, it's he seemed to reach for his to he reach in that direction, hence why they went to for deadly force.
You
Now
just
this
live in a
hold on.
different
This is
reality,
recorded.
bro. You live in
Well,
a
no, this
straight
is
up different
recorded.
reality. He reached for a gun. No, he didn't. He didn't reach for jack
No,
shit.
he reached in the direction of
So
where
let me
his
please
gun
finish. I
was.
let you speak and yap that bullshit. Let me please speak, okay?
Yeah, go ahead,
He
sir.
did not reach for jack shit. There's absolutely no evidence that he reached for any weapon. He was literally fucking disarmed prior to being shot. He didn't reach for shit. There's nowhere in the video. He was pinned on the ground with people on top of him. And by the way, when was she detained?
Are we talking about the detainee? Or are we talking about Alex Preddy?
When he stood in between the ICE agent and the woman that was being pushed, when was she detained?
So obviously, as you can see, ICE agents were conducting said investigation, right? And so she was not free to leave in that moment, right? Um, and while trying to argue said,
Wait, so when was there an indication that she was detained? Where did you get this
So,
information from? The video,
where I
or
got
did you get it from the agents themselves?
no, obviously I didn't get this from the agent. It's not like I was there in Minnesota. Let's be real.
Okay.
Let's clarify that, right? Um, and as a third party, I'm not going to have all that information, right? But after looking at all these criminal defense attorneys, and granted, yes, I use YouTube. Will be real. Um, I use these said sources off YouTube in regards to Nate the lawyer, in regards to other in regards to other criminal defense attorneys that reviewed the video, and you can see in said moment, Alex Preddy was attempting to administer aid as well as move said detainee,
She
at
was
least
not
alleged
detained
detainee. Okay, we'll just say alleged detainee then.
by alleged by some random YouTube lawyer.
Well, these YouTube lawyers have shown that they have shown their credentials and have also
Wait, you understand
reviewed
there are credentialed lawyers that disagree with them?
what Legal Eagle, and that's it.
Wait, you want me to give you a list of lawyers that disagree?
Yeah, please do.
I got you. Give me one quick second.
Please do. Yes. If I'm wrong, I would love to be shown that.
Here we go. I got you.
Cool.
One quick second.
Take your time,
Matt!
sir.
I got to do the Matt call. You know, like the bat call? Like Batman?
No, sir.
You don't know the bat call?
No, sir.
You don't know what Batman is?
No. Well, I know the hero Batman, but I don't know which.
You're trolling, right?
No, I'm being genuine. I know the hero, but I do not know what you're referring to.
You don't know what the bat
Oh,
call is for Batman?
the back signal? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, the bat signal.
Okay, well, I don't know about no bat call, but the bat signal where they
Okay,
press
I'm
the stupid
sorry.
light,
I'm
yes.
sorry. You're going to call and signal. I'm sorry. There's much of a distinction between that. The Matt signal. You want me to do that?
That would be more specific, yes, please.
Okay. The Matt signal. I've sent it. Okay, well, he needs a second. Give him a second. I'll give you a whole list of lawyers that disagree because I'm not specific on the lawyers myself.
So you don't know. So do you know the charge of obstruction of justice is, right?
What's up?
Do you know the definition of obstruction of justice according to both federal and local?
No, but I could give you one right now. I do have one right here right now. It's Lawyers Committee condemns killing of Alex Jeffrey Preddy and demands accountability in Minneapolis. This is from lawyerscommittee.org.
Lawyerscommittee.org.
Yep.
A lawyers committee for civil rights under a law.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
That's an entire committee of lawyers. So I guess the point there is that like any lawyer that you would cite, you could cite someone from the other side. So I just like I don't see it as a valid. What's the argument? Like what did he specifically do?
So I guess we'll get deeper into it. So do you know the definition of obstruction of justice?
You give me a definition and I'll see if I agree or not.
So do you know what the legal definition of obstruction of justice is?
Not off the top of my head. I can find it if you'd like.
I would love for you to pull that up on your end.
Gotcha.
At least according to, yeah.
Okay. The legal definition. Let me get it for you. I'm going to Cornell right now. Obstruction of justice broadly refers to actions by individuals that illegally prevent or influence the outcome of a government proceeding. While the quintessential example of obstruction of justice involves tampering in a judicial proceeding, there are numerous laws of obstruction of justice covering all branches. Okay, so let's just go to an extra. So yeah, refers to actions by individuals that that illegally prevent or influence the outcome of a government proceeding. Which it doesn't seem like happened. And it seems like the Trump administration's actually done that.
Oh, and and maybe in other circumstances you would probably be correct. I wouldn't know. I will say this in terms of foreign policy, all that other bullshit. I am very ill-informed. So trying to make an argument regarding that would be stupid of me to do so. We'll just make that clear. But in regards to how obstruction of justice is, right? At least when used with local PD or federal or with special agents in the field, right? It is the physical act of impeding said investigation.
So
That is how.
So,
Go
by the
ahead.
way, your justification for lethal force is obstruction of justice.
No, obviously that is not enough. That is not enough
Okay.
to
What
go
are
to.
what are the legal grounds for use of lethal force?
So for the use of deadly force / lethal force, whatever you want to call it, right, is when that the officer is reasonably in fear for his life, at least according to the Supreme Court, according to Scottus. The officer within said, I think it's like 2 seconds, according to prior case law, that in that moment he has to be in fear of his life and be able to reasonably say that his safety of either himself or the citizens or the officers around him were at risk.
Okay, so yeah, it would just be reasonable, imminent risk of serious bodily harm or death in the scenario.
Exactly.
Okay, so like if that's the scenario, so then what was present in the scenario with Alex Preddy that then meets that standard?
So the argument that can be made, at least according to all these criminal defense attorneys that reviewed the footage, Alex Preddy reaches in the direction of his upset holster, even though we all know that the firearm was seized by the federal agent within
So he's reaching
five
for a
s-
non-existent gun. So
which you
the
would be.
justification for the reasonable imminent risk of serious bodily harm or death is that he's reaching for a non-existent gun.
Well, I'm about to get to that, but you just interrupted me.
Go ahead.
Okay, so again, just to clarify, you would be correct. ICE officers within that 5 seconds did seize said firearm out of his holster while he was passively resisting. During said interaction.
Passively resisting. Can you explain that to me? What does passively resisting mean?
So there's two forms of resisting arrest, right? There's resisting arrest with force, and that would be actively fighting with law enforcement by attempting to flee, by attempting to punch, etc. That's mostly states. That's mostly state statutes and local ordinances. And then there's passive resisting, which you could still be charged for that. However, that's more or less of you're using force to try not to go in handcuffs, but you're not striking the officers. You're not attempting to run. You're just again, you are just being basically it's a passive way of being tense and not wanting to go in handcuffs and still trying to fight with law enforcement during said
So
interaction.
just general response, human response to being put in handcuffs.
Oh yeah, which you would be correct. Yeah,
That's not resisting.
so
So passively resisting is not a thing.
That's how they classify it.
Like
both states.
I mean, I've never heard this term before. Is this like a legal term?
Yeah, this is a legal term.
Really? Let's take a look.
According to Arizona legislator, nonviolent physical acts or failures to act intentionally hinder.
No,
delay,
that's
or
under
beyond
resisting arrest.
Now, it is under resisting arrest.
But yeah,
again,
if you look up passively resisting, what you clicked on was resisting arrest, not passively resisting.
No, that's passive. At least according to Arizona law. And
Here we go. It does give a definition underneath it after saying resisting arrest. Hold on, give me a second.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Wait, it doesn't even show up on the.
Okay, this is usually a state charge.
For the purpose of this section, passive resistance means a nonviolent physical act or failure to act that is intended to impede, hinder, or delay the effecting of an arrest.
Yes.
Okay. That's passive resistance. Okay, that's an interesting thing.
Now, I mean that you could.
It doesn't seem like it's illegal. It just seems like they're using the term to clarify something.
No, you could use it. You could argue that it's a bullshit charge because
Because when
again,
you
as
look
you
up
just
the
said,
Cambridge definition, it says the act of showing in a peaceful way that you oppose something rather than using violence. So like,
no, you could no in your argument earlier, as you just said earlier, um, like the human body as well as the instinct, right? You're obviously going to tense up if an officer is going to put you in handcuffs, right? Um,
okay, so
so your argument earlier saying
wait,
that
let me just be
it's a
clear with your
human.
argument. Let me just be clear with your argument. So,
Go ahead, sir.
to be clear, so the justification for lethal force was that he's passively resisting, meaning he's just
I'm
on
gonna
the ground and he's not being arrested right away. Like he's
no.
well. So what movement did he make?
Do you want me to get to the core of the argument? Or do you want me to explain?
Run through your whole argument because apparently we haven't heard your whole argument yet. So let's hear
Okay,
your whole
so
argument. I'll write it all down and then I'll respond to it.
okay, understood. So again, regarding the Alex Preddy situation, law enforcement at the scene claims that he was obstructing the investigation by physically inserting himself in said investigation by attempting to remove the alleged detainee and provide first aid, at least according to multiple witnesses and according to Homeland, right? Um, and then obviously ICE goes to detain Alex Preddy for the obstruction of justice after attempting to remove him from the scene several times that during that incident. He passively resists. Obviously, this isn't probable cause to go to resort to deadly force, but we'll get to that. Um, and so you already have obstruction of justice. You already have passive resisting, which you could argue. And then ICE agent sees the firearm, and during that tense moment, he reaches in the direction of where his firearm was. Hence, why agents resorted to deadly force.
So they were ultimately wrong in shooting him because he wasn't reaching for a gun.
He was reaching in the direction of where his gun was.
But there was no gun. So
Even though
a reasonable officer would not think that they were under imminent risk of serious bodily harm or death because they were disarmed. He was reaching for a gun that didn't exist.
so how would the officer know during those circumstances? How would the other officers, besides the one who sees said firearm, know that he didn't have any other additional weapons on him?
So the person saying gun that got the gun, there was specifically no gun that was identified. You have to identify a gun, right, that they would be
Yeah.
reaching towards, right,
Yeah. So
or grabbing at in order to be able to say that you would be justified in shooting. Plus, there is literally nowhere in the video where he reaches where his gun was. Show me where in the video where he reached for where his gun was. I would love to see it.
I would like you to look up, at least from one of the sources that I have. I would like you to look up this guy named Nate the lawyer. At
On
least
YouTube, I'm assuming.
Yes, on YouTube. Please do. Now, to clarify, Mr. Parker, I understand that I can see the smile on your face. I understand that you're probably like, oh yeah, this guy's fucking retarded, and that's fair
Don't
enough.
use that. I have to kick you now too because it's TikTok TOS as well. So I'm gonna go on to the next person.